guys, what is going on? I am the Nufferdog, and welcome back to another episode of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Last time we made it to Agon Temple here in the Agon Wastes. Got a message from a dead Luminoth who gave us the ability to scan amber holograms, and as well as that happened right after defeating the Darkling-possessed Alpha Sand Digger, which was the bomb guardian, because it was using our morph ball bombs, and so then we got our bombs back, and that was good. And there are warwolves in this room now. They're annoying. And this time we're going to continue exploring Agon Wastes. So last time, getting the message from that dead Luminoth Sentinel, we sort of get an idea of the structure of this game, or, you know, I already said, you know, the structure of the game as a whole, in that it's divided into, in that you've got one big hub area, and sort of three main, I guess, dungeon areas, you could sort of call them, even though they're not really like dungeons. But, you know, they're the areas where you get power-ups and fight bosses for the most part. We can scan this now, and I believe this just leads into a little cache. There are Lumites in this room. They're annoying. They mess up my platforming when you try to platform in this room. Yep, roll cache with a missile expansion. Brilliant! In fact, I think it is called Sand Cache. See? I'm smart. Or memorize stuff a lot. I don't know. Now, we can't get to that top door, so we just gotta go... Oh, right, we've got that door as well. But I'm gonna go through here, because there's some interesting stuff to do in here and here. And then come back. So each time we visit one of these big three areas, I'm not gonna spoil what the others are, because they're pretty cool. And this is actually my least favorite of the game, of the three in the game. I don't mind the Agon Wastes, I just think they're less interesting than the other two. I really love both the others. Energy tank! Awesome! So that is something you definitely want to get, but of course I'm going to be getting even the things that aren't so crucial, you know, I'm going to be getting every last missile expansion, and it is a 100% run after all, so that if you want to use it as guide, you can use it as guide. I'm just a nice guy like that. Self-aggrandizing much. Anyway, here's a platform. I don't think it really does anything, except maybe we can jump here. No, we can't jump there. There's a Sand Digger. Hello, Sand Digger. You're a jerk. I dodged your acid. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel? Your vigilance and strength, they create peace, apparently. I'm not sure what... Oh, I see. This leads to a thing. Telluric alloy. I'm not sure how much we can do back here. I don't fully remember the room that this leads to. Or rooms. Oh, okay, it's a map station. Very good. Alrighty, that means we can get a nice map of Agon Wastes. I think this might only do half of it. A couple of these areas are pretty distinctly divided into sort of two sections. Sort of like the Fendrana Drifts were in the first game. You can see, these areas back here are actually entirely optional bonus areas, but we get some cool stuff from them. There's an elevator there that we won't access till quite a bit later. That room is important. And there's this big room coming off of here. Oh, okay, it looks like that did actually fill in the entire Agon Wastes. That's pretty nice. Now, the Dark Agon Wastes have a separate map, even though it is very similar to this one. It is technically separate, and it has its own map system. Or its own map station. It fills in separately, even though the basic layout is... the basic layout of the rooms is identical to this side. Let's see. I can go back and save, but there's nothing we can do, nothing more we can do in the save station or anything. So I guess we just go back up. That was basically the only thing to get here. But, yeah, there's also a lore scan in here, and there was, of course, that energy tank in the little transport room. That's why I didn't go straight to the new room that we're about to see, which is the portal chamber, where we can get transported to Dark Ether. Yes, another Golden Age scan. This actually should come before the one that we got in the energy controller. Ether was a fertile, aged world with bountiful fields and oceans. The native creatures were gentle compared to other worlds we had encountered. What other worlds were you on? Some of the things here are pretty vicious. We settled in the mountain region at first, in cliffside dwellings. In time, we established settlements in the green forest of Torvus and the fertile plains of Agon. A great temple was built between our 3 domains. Ah, you spoiled one of the other areas. A place of peace and a monument to our accomplishments. It was a time of harmony for our people. So, the idea behind a couple of these different areas, or really all of them, is that they used to be all kind of nice and pleasant, and then the meteor that brought Phazon to the planet and caused the division between dark and light ether, created natural disasters that ruined a lot of these areas. Like, these used to be fertile plains, and they're now a desert. And we'll see something similar with the second of the big 3 areas. What was I saying? I guess, yeah, each time we come into one of these areas, we'll kind of, you basically go to the temple first, and get a message from Illuminoth, which will allow you to scan a new type of hologram, color-coded hologram. There's like 4 in the game, I think. Now we want to go through here. And ride these kinetic orb cannons up. And, yeah. We first go to the energy controller to get a message, and then once we get the new type of hologram, portable rocket or grenade system, interesting, and he left a missile expansion for us behind him, very handy. There are a lot of missile expansions in this area of Agon Wastes. It's like they're kind of want the player to... What was that? I don't know, I didn't even press the X button the second time, that was weird. Like they want the player to get their missile supply up a little bit higher, since you start out with only 5. Oh yeah, this is a really interesting room. I really like this room. But before we can really do anything in it, we have kind of an annoying fight, and I'm really wishing I had saved, because I've actually come pretty near death here. These are space pirates. These are just normal space pirates. I don't think it's possible to kill either of them before... maybe it is. After a while... Oh, wait, I think it might be that new ones show up after we kill these ones. But, yeah, this is going to be bad. Whoa! He warps in right behind me. Yeah, okay. New ones come in, and then they get possessed right away. And we are going to have our first instance. They try to shoot it, but to no avail. The Ying Cloud, whatever it is. Oh, okay, because it happens during a cutscene, we can't take advantage of the time where they're being possessed to get the scan for them, and not have to worry about getting shot while we're scanning them. But these dark pirates are quite dangerous. They take a lot of hits to kill, and they do a lot of damage. And in my practice run doing this, I came pretty near death here, because on hard mode, these guys can really mess with you. I'm just using up lots of missiles to kill them fast, so that I don't die, because I haven't saved recently enough for my taste. I don't like losing progress. You can get him to waste time by attacking us with that melee scythe if we get close to him, but I don't think that's really a practical strategy. See, we got down below, that first energy tank. Those guys are dangerous. You have to try to dodge a lot, but sometimes it can be hard. So we've got this cool system here to focus solar energy to provide power. Caloric alloy thing. To provide power for the portal generation system. There's this door thing here, but this bomb slot is kinda weird. It's in dimensional flux. It says 50% of its component atoms are in dark ether, but actually the bomb slot in dark ether is like complete and functional. It's really bizarre. How you'd like think both of them would be non-functional because both of them only have 50% of the atoms, but for some reason the one on dark ether works and this one doesn't. I think there's a lore scan down here. Ah, yes, here it is. Almost completed the Golden Age scans. The main energy controller was built in the Great Temple. 3 sub-controllers were built in the temples of Torvus, Agon, and the Sanctuary. They collected the energy of ether, then radiated it over the world to all who needed it. In time, we came to call this precious energy the light of ether. It brought an age of peace and prosperity to the Luminoth. Interesting. So this thing is a portal generator. But it's offline First, we need to use this bomb slot. Yeah, after you go to the energy controller, you can, scan different stuff to access some new locations. And then, after you go to that energy controller the first time, you sort of have the bulk of the area, where you run around and gather new power-ups and whatnot, explore all the new areas. But while you're doing that, you basically have to try to figure out how to get to the different areas in Dark Aether, because Dark Aether is where the 3 keys are that unlock the temple. And we're gonna have to do that with every region. Find 3 keys to open the way to the temple. Oh, let's scan this elevator. It's a conveyor system, apparently for transporting kinetic orbs. To what avail? I'm not really certain. But it's handy for us. It's a gameplay device, honestly. It's not really supposed to make sense. But I like this little puzzle. Here, where we get those lenses worked out. And kill all the war wasps. All of them. And scan all the energy units and missile ammunitions. Yeah, exciting! Oh, there actually is a new little enemy we can scan in here. The most non-threatening enemy ever. A pill bug. Actually, they are a little bit creepy looking with all those long bits of hair and stuff. The swirly designs there, though, are weird. They kind of remind me of, I don't know, art from, like, Zelda Wind Waker or something. But they're just sort of a little annoyance you encounter in morph ball tunnels. You can bomb them a few times to kill them, bomb once to dislodge them, and then a few more times to take them out. I'm just thinking about something involving pill bugs that's going to happen later that I think is kind of hilarious. But once we do get into the Dark Temple, there's always a big boss in the Dark Temple. That's sort of your ultimate goal when going through those areas, is to kill the boss there so you can get the energy. And, oh my god, the Dark Temple bosses, the fights are awesome. I think this game has the best boss fights of the Prime trilogy, at least better than Metroid Prime 1, I think. I mean, Metroid Prime 1 has some really cool bosses, it had your big imposing guys like Flagra and Thardos. But, the bosses in this game are amazing! Solar Dynamo online, dimensional portal system energized. Oh, yeah. The Temple Guardians in this game are awesome. They're all huge and all imposing, and generally pretty difficult to defeat, especially in hard mode. So here we are, we've initiated a portal to Dark Aether. And there are some other fights we'll have that I think are pretty awesome. Especially ones involving that dark clone of Samus that we saw. So, we're just gonna sort of walk in here. And for the second time ever, we see this cutscene, where Samus sort of dissolves into energy, which is a little creepy. And thwomp. Here we are in Dark Aether. It's a slightly more graceful exit from the portal than the first time around. Oh, of course my phone is ringing again, during a cutscene, no less. I guess I will answer this. Apparently I have a missed call, that's weird. Okay. Okay, that was awkward timing for a call, but it was an important call from me Madre. So anyway, here we are in Dark Aether. We have to stay within the range of these light crystals. There isn't one here, there's just sort of a safe zone around the portal. When we're in them, our health will regenerate very slowly. Need to scan one of these guys, right? These are blade pods. I like them. I think they're kind of cute, for some reason. They're sort of... Does anyone else agree with me? Does anyone else think they're kind of cute? If you look at those little eyes? And, I don't know. They're technically alive, but basically they're just containers we can break. So this, we can scan this if we want to go back to light ether, but I'm just going to use it to scan the portal because it's a research entry. Yeah. Light portal. This portal is active. Light portals allow living beings to travel to ether without being disrupted and scattered throughout the interdimensional void. They are unstable, however, and only remain viable for limited periods of time. Some can be reactivated, while others vanish forever once they are used. Good to know. So, when we stand unprotected in the atmosphere of dark ether, we take damage pretty rapidly, so we're pretty heavily reliant on these safe zones. And this is one area where I can see people being mad about gimmicky gameplay. Here's the scan for these light crystals. They can be nullified by dark energy or supercharged by light energy. That's important. And this is a light beacon, which is sort of a temporary safe zone. You have to shoot it to energize it, but you can just keep shooting it to keep it energized. So you just have to, be on your toes about them. And most of them don't have a field this big either. The size of these things varies. But yeah, I can see people complaining about gimmicky gameplay with this. But it's true that for this first area, it is kind of annoying just because you really can't stay outside the safe zones at all. But in not too long, we're gonna get transdimensional activity detected. That's showing that happened in ether as well as dark ether. Alright, we can't go through there. I don't know. I think once we get an upgrade that will make it, that will make us less affected by dark ether's atmosphere, it really becomes not much of an issue. But, I can still see where people are coming from. I can see being annoyed by it at first. This is an inglet. It is basically the smallest and weakest variety of ing we'll find. Actually, it's not, technically. There are some, baby ing larva type things that we'll see later on. And, of course, there are the containers. But, it's the smallest thing with ing in its name that is fully grown. Qualifiers. So they can morph between being little puddles of goo and having an actual shape that's kind of suggestive. But they're really not that dangerous. They're just kind of annoying, have their little projectile attack. Shoot this with a missile. And now we're in the dark equivalent of the save station, and it is a save station in the dark world as well as the light world. There are save stations on both places. You can travel around the dark world, and there's save stations and ammo recharge stations and stuff. Pretty much just like the right world. Well, I guess the light world is the right world to be in. It's safer, and it's a better place overall. But you can, the only thing is that there are no elevators in the dark world. You can't travel between different areas, between Agon Wastes and Temple Grounds and that sort of thing. You can't do that in the dark world. So I'm going to save here, and I think this seems like a good time to end off the episode. Actually, probably going to have to stop recording for the day, even though I've only gotten 5 episodes done. But, yeah, I'm the Dog, and I will see you guys next time with more Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, where we will explore more of Dark Ether. Bye!